Yo, what is going on, Senpai Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we've got the review for chapter 207 of Black Clover. And wow, did we learn a lot in this chapter, including something that has been foreshadowed / not been talked about for quite a while, since way back during the dungeon arc. So let's get into the latest chapter of Black Clover. Now, the devil, over the course of the previous couple of chapters, this one in particular, mainly this one, has started to showcase some of his weaknesses. But what's so interesting is that by showing us his weaknesses, he's actually also just showing us how incredibly powerful he is, and his abilities just being crazily overpowered, because this guy was literally disintegrated by an obscenely, just incredibly strong magic attack down to a little bit bite-sized particles, and yet still he came back to life into his full form almost instantly. It's just, this devil is going to take so much to be defeated, and that's why I'm almost convinced that he can't die in this arc. I just don't feel like, I just can't picture a way it would somehow work, unless we, maybe we'll hold out and see what Asta's actually going to pull off, because it seems as though Asta's going to get some form of new type of form going on, or an extended version of what he's already got in his Black Asta anti-magic form. But before we go on to all of that and what Licht did, I want to talk a bit more about the devil dying and the end of the arc, because I upset a few people saying that I wasn't a huge fan of the way that the arc was going. Some people took that the wrong way and thought I was complaining, saying I didn't like the arc, I was just complaining about the length of the arc. Not at all. I still really like this arc. I still think it's a genuinely solid arc. I don't think it's fulfilled its potential as of right now, but I still enjoy it. The length doesn't really bother me. I'd rather him not rush it and finish it because of complaints than just what it's doing right now. I'm fine with it, but I won't enjoy the ending of it if the devil there's three basic endings which I'm thinking, which I just won't like. If the devil just dies, that would be pretty mid, especially considering he replaced an antagonist which had 200 chapters of build up. That would annoy me a little bit. If Asta and Yuno were the ones to defeat him, now I'm going to hold back slightly on this one, depending on what Asta's new form is, but I still think if Asta's able to take on this demon, it's just going to be, as hype as it is, it's just going to cause more problems in the long run. We've seen happen with many other shonen, so I hope for the sake of the series that that's not necessarily the case. And the other option, the one which I'm least confident in happening, thankfully, is just some power of friendship typical bullshit, because now luckily Black Clover doesn't rely on the power of friendship too much. It's actually quite smart in the way that it's actually integrated the power of friendship sort of into its power system, so it's a bit more, gets away with it a little bit more, but still doesn't overuse it like some other manga and anime I can possibly think of. But we're not going to go down that road. But they're my three ways I just don't want this arc to ending. Now obviously, like I said with the Asta one, we'll hold off for another chapter or two to see what's going to happen, but I want to know what you guys think. I'm going to start something new in each one of these videos now, a question of the day, which I should have done at the beginning of this review. How do you want this fight with the devil to end? Let me know in the comment section down below. But let's talk more about Licht. Now, I've loved Licht since he appeared again. I mean, it's only been like 1 and a bit chapters, and he's hardly really spoke at all, but it's Licht. You kind of just have to like Licht for something likable about him, even though he doesn't talk, and the real Licht doesn't have much of a personality at all right now. But it's just the way that he kind of silently mentors Asta. I mean, we saw in their fight with Yuno how he not subconsciously, but kind of sneakily handed Asta the sword without Asta knowing, and took the sword which he's now using now. I believe that's the one he took, his original sword, which we saw him use in this chapter to do this huge light magic elf spirit bomb type thing, essentially, which was interesting because now we've kind of seen what the actual true potential of that sword, what the original purpose, what I believe to be the original purpose of that sword is, because we knew it could absorb other people's mana, because we saw Asta do it in the dungeon when he first got the sword with Noel's magic. I think maybe he might have done it with someone else, but he for sure did it for the first time with Noel versus Mars in their original fight. And that was kind of foreshadowing, or gives us a hint of what possibilities you have with this sword. And Licht has basically confirmed this by just to put into perspective how strong that spell is. Like I said, it made the devil into just particles, and this guy is obscenely strong. So I'm very excited to see A, whether or not Asta actually gets that sword back. I presume he would, and B, how he'll use it in the future now that he's seen Licht use it firsthand. But another way that Licht has been kind of silently mentoring and coaching Asta, another example of that is in this exact chapter, the way that he used this sword to showcase that it has more abilities hidden down beneath it if you just keep digging deep enough, kind of awakens something in Asta. In fact, almost just reminded him of what his sword is capable of. You know, his anti-magic. At the minute, he's about half full of anti-magic, and in my opinion, I think Licht has kind of woken him up inside and made him think, hang on, my anti-magic, it worked, it did something, but it wasn't enough. I need more. And I think now that he's going to look at his sword and think, there's more left for me to tap into here, more abilities, more powers for me to tap into. And I honestly think we might see 100% Black Asta in the next chapter, or at least him attempting to go 100% Black Asta. What will be interesting is if he does do that, he's pushing his limits to a point which he's never done before, and I imagine that will cause the devil within his grimoire to reappear again, and that will be very interesting, especially considering one of his own species is currently stood before, or flying before, Asta. But ladies and gentlemen, there you go. They're my thoughts and opinions on the latest chapter of Black Clover. Like I said, make sure to answer the question of the day in the comment section down below. How do you guys want this fight with the devil to end overall? Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai Squad. And I'll be seeing you guys in another video. But until then, peace.